Hello everyone. I'm Ashish Agarwal. So today's our topic will be our deep drilling into the properties of JSON file. Our table of contents will be the introduction, key properties of the file, and we are going to see some demo for the setup a setup a package.json into the custom theme for our CSS purpose. So the JSON package.json is a file which is a used for maintain all the dependencies, scripts, versions, and everything related to the your projects. It's a root file for all the custom themes, and it's a very basic file for a Node.js projects. So it helps them maintaining all the dependencies, all the versions, all the dev dependencies, all the peer dependencies, all the dependencies are related to this files also. Like it's majorly used to reduce the bundles of the modules, bundles of the files to get upload on the server sides, and to reduce the bundles of the pushing purpose. So we use this, and it contain all the uh, dependencies and all the required files inside the one file. So we are going to just add a one of our the modules, one of our the requirements in development purpose. Everything we will just add in one of the file, and this will get we are going to push it on the dev server. So our servers already have the npm installed, so they will just by running one command, they will install all our the required modules and all our the required dependencies. They will install it by directly. Why we use it? It centralize all the configuration of the project, like all the things are available in one of the file. It facilitates dependency management, like all the dependencies of the type are the dependencies will be the dependency and the dev dependency, the peer dependency, and the optional dependencies. All the these are the main dependencies which it contain in a single file. It's enable the considered development and deployment flow. The core properties of these files will be the name of the file or a project. It contain the version of which version you are going to use. It also use the node version. It depends on the node version, which node version you are going to use, because some of the time when we using a older version, it should be use the older version of the our modules and all the required projects or which we are integrating in our projects. So that also compare with the old versions. So we need to make sure like which version we are using for a future purpose also. Description will be a common a description of all the, like it describe the project type. Main will be a entry points of the projects. It's a library. It's usually points the name main file that will be imported while required in the another project. Scripts are the some of the commands which we are going to use, or which we can define in the package.json file. And by the just adding a npm run before the script command, we can add it and we can run it. It's according to the requirement. It's enable the automation of the task like running test or building a project or a deploying. It's do all of the things. So these are the main basic or a very important dependencies. First one is a dependency and the dev dependency. So both the different dependencies are the different one. The dependencies are containing which the package which our project is need to required to run on the smoothly on the server side. But for the dev dependencies are the dependencies which are required for the development purpose, like the run SCSS, like to run the post CSS. It's required some of the dev dependencies. But for if we talk about the dependencies, so it contains like a carousel, like a slick slider JS. So this type of the things is required only just providing the files from that module. So that is a dev dependency. That is a dependency. And what we need to run are in the local or set up the our custom theme, that will be a dev dependency. Peer dependencies are the specify the versions of the dependency that the host application needs to install. Like it's the on the development purpose or the installation purpose or on the dev side, it required the the peer dependency. is usually for the plugins that requires a specific version of a libraries. So it's required some of the specific versions related to the compared to the node, so that will to run the it perfectly with the syncing. Optional dependency. This is a simple one, like it's a optional one which will not affect or which will not break our setup while installing or while performing the tasks. Bundles of dependencies with packages that are included in the project's final packages will published. Advanced properties. So these are the some of the advanced properties in the package.json, like engine, script, config, and resolutions. Engines will be the specific version of the node file that run need to be run on the npm project to be make it a compatible for all the packages which we are going to use, ensuring that the package projects run in the specific environment. Like we are working on the local, we are working on this server side, so that is required for the engines. Scripts are the some of the scripts which we use to pre-install, post-install, and pre-publish, etc. Are the like explain how to use the npm lifestyle scripts to automate the complex workflow. It also include the complexity of the workflow. So npm lifecycle scripts will be working on that part also. For the config purpose, like in the Node.js projects, we can also push the configuration like in the other, like we do in the Drupal project. So it's allow the configuration options that we can be accessible via npm package config in your scripts. So by using this npm package, we can push our configuration towards the our Node.js projects. Some of the resolutions used in the monitors of projects with dependency conflicts to force specific versions or of some dependencies. Like it make it stick to the specific versions to make it our project runnable, or make it to make like syncing with all the nodes, syncing with the dependencies to make it to work perfectly. Other notable properties are authenticated contributor. Authenticated contributor are the person who are adding a metadata about the people who maintain the projects. Authenticated and contributor are some of the person who are creating the package.json file on the installation of the project. So they will add their details. So whenever a person who is another working on any projects, if they face any some issues which is related to their projects or anything, so they can directly contact to that person. We can add something like name, email address. We can add it in the authenticator, or a contributor also add that part. License are the project which are license used in the other uh, in the package.json. Sorry. Repositories are the specific where the source codes of the project is hosted. Like repositories are the some of the kind of the we are looking for a Drupal.org are all the modules create contributor modules are hosted there. So in the package.json also npm contains some of the repositories where we can just using the npm install we can use that repositories. Or some of the bugs which define where issues are bugs can be reported, like all the where we can report the bugs, like as a Drupal org we are going to created bugs on the are the specific Drupal. So same similar like this we can also create bugs to the related repositories, to the related contributor their modules. We can create bugs related to there. Some of the keywords like related to are the making the project discoverable, or a npm specific search keywords. Like if we need to search by the some specific functionality, so we can use the specific keywords to find it out. So we are having some demo session for the package.json file to install the SCSS. Let's go towards the like here in the demo. We currently this file is a inside this contribution web theme custom. It's a custom demo file. Okay. To run it, we just need to run the command npm init -y. -y is using, like, yes, we are good to go with our all the commands. Else, without -y, it will ask you all the elements, all the properties by in the terminal also, like the name, the version, the description, the uh, license, everything. It's going to be asked by here also. So skipping that, we will just add a y, -y inside it. Let's see. Here you can see in the demo, our package.json file is created. Okay, with a name demo. The version is 1.0.0. Our theme version, current node version is version 1.0.0. It's a package version, not a node version. Description will is a stem empty, so we can add any description. Demo for text. The main file, the main contains the index.json file. It's for the node.js projects, but we can edit it, we can alter it. Scripts are the some of the commands which we are going to see in the later on. There are some keywords which are the blanks, which we can add according to the our requirements, according to the our uh, scripts, or according to the uh, descriptions or the dependencies which we are going to use. Author is a stem empty one for now. We can add it, like we can add anything which we are going to use. License is ICP, ISC is a common or a default one. No, the second command is will be our npm install sas ocss cli auto prefix npm run all and hyphen save dev. So npm run install is a common one, like we are installing an npm install. SaaS will be installing our related everything to the SaaS, like the running the SaaS, compiling it and everything. It will be using that. Post CSL is a compilation, and after that, where our CSL is going to be get saved, that is uses there. Auto prefix are the some of the prefix which are going to be added by the compilation. npm run all, it's a common command, and save dev is a dev save. It will take a bit time. So meanwhile, we will create some of our uh, folders inside the theme, which we are going to use. So first one will be our SCSS folder. SCSS, inside that we are going to you write style.scss file. After that, we are going to add a CSS folder where our all the compiled CSS will get added. Yeah, let's install now. So to run it smoothly, we need to add some of the scripts related to our projects or related to the SCSS or CSS to make it compile perfectly. Here I have also an example of like authentication. You can add your name and space, with a space you can your email ID. Okay. Like in the scripts, we are going to use this script. And for some dependencies, we are going to use these dependencies, dev dependent. These are the dev dependencies, not the dependencies. So it's all are related to our development purpose only. This will not contain any dependencies related to the server side. So here the SAS is get added. So what SAS will do? SAS is a command or a script where we are going to use with the npm run SAS. So what this will do? SAS will style compress. This will compress the SAS file inside it will take where we have added scss hyphen style dot scss, and it will pass it, or it will paste it inside the css and style.css file. If we are going to use prefix, so it will add all the prefix inside the post css, and by just using in css style.css, use auto prefix, and this will add all the auto prefix inside the css style.css file. Build will run npm run sas auto prefix. This will compile all the css with the all the prefix auto prefix. If we are going to use watch, so we don't need to add any specific, like by one we don't need to compile it again and again. By just saving our scss file, this will add automatically our compiled css inside the style.css file. In the dev dependencies, we can see the auto prefix version is a 10.2.5, which is compatible to the node 4. I will show you the which version I am using. Node-B is a 14.21.3. This one is a node version for my setup. npm run install will using the 4.5 version, which is a compatible for node version. Post css scl is a 8.31, and SARS will be a 1.3.8, 32.8. So let's see how it will affect it or not. Margin 0, padding 0. This will be our the basic SCSS which we are going to use in the SCSS file. Once we add it, just visit the terminal, run npm run build. Having some errors. Yeah, here. Our merge and build are added here. Okay. These are some errors with the post CSS which can be resolved later on. If we are going to use the watch command, then npm run watch. This will continuously watch our SCSS file and convert it to the CSS and paste it inside the CSS slash style.css file. Let's check it. Like if we add a body, color, red, by just saving the, oh, sorry, I have added inside the, here, we will just add body, color, red. By just saving it, it will compile. It's showing some error related to the variables, like color is not defined inside the file. So what we need to do is, like, we need to add a variable folder to make it run completely fine. So for now, we are not going to use this. We are just need to run this rad, add rad. So this will compile as a time. Okay. By just adding it before it, like, you can add all the variables, all the uh, mixins which need to run a custom theme perfectly without any reusability of the pixels and reusability of the colors, and again we don't need to add spacings, everything we can just use it by here. Like if I go to add something else also, like if nave, we are going to color it, or adding a padding 20 pixel. If I add inside the as a SCSS structure, so it will compile as a third one. Inside the CSS style.css, you can see all are the CSS are built perfectly, and later on, like, we can use this style.css file inside our library file as we do inside the our Drupal structure. Also, we can make it compatible according to the a component page structure. So we have all the functionality there. It will also provide you the style files as well as the map file. So we can also use this one. So for some of the users, like if we need some map files, so we can use it. Some best practice for our package.json file are they keep the package.json file clean and well documented, because when our file is going to be pushed on the server side, the npm run will get automatically triggered and it will install our package.json file. All the contents are available inside the package.json that will get installed. So if any vulnerability and anything wrong is available there, or it's anything wrong is there inside the file, it will break the our development and will need to be alter it or fix it by manually. Use a symmetric versions for the dependencies, like it will use all the symmetration or for other dependencies or dev dependencies too. Regularly audit and update dependencies to avoid the security vulnerability. Like always try to use the npm or a gulp file to add any packages which you need for your project, else your site will get vulnerable for the hackers, and that will happen, and it's happened with me also. So that's why I'm adding this vulnerability for our all the package.jsons. Avoid porting the packages with unnecessary dependencies, like unnecessary code and unnecessary commented code. We should not add it inside the package.json. It will not a standard way. Some notable properties are, yeah, we have also covered this. Here are a demonstration of each and every properties which are added inside the packet.json, and it's are listed here. Like as we can see, name, here is a name, example project's example, or a name of a project, versions, descriptions, and a description of a project. Main will be an index.json JS. This will be a Node.js project script. So that's why it's looking like this. Scripts, it's a start, test, build, init, linit, pre-install, pre-post. So this will be our all the scripts related to the Node.js projects. I have using this one because of our Drupal projects don't use this much of the attributes or this much of the elements of the package or JSON. We just need to run our CSS or compile our the CSS, everything just we related to that. So using this package.json file to demonstrate everything about the packages. Some of the keywords which we can use like Node.js examples, package.jsons. Some of the also keywords like if we are going to dependencies, dev dependencies, if we are having a number of the line names, so that's why we can add it as a keywords. Some of the authors like your name and then space your email ID, and even you can add anything like your mobile number, your another email ID, another mobile number. You can add it by the spacing also. Like for the contributor, we can add multiple contributor by line by in this format. License will be a MIT for the Node.js project, but for the Drupal projects, like have we have seen, ICS is a license which we are getting. Some of the repositories like type git, or this will be a git repository, and URL of the repository is a github.com, and whatever that the repository name is, we can add it by here. Bug repositories are also get added here, like or which on whatever developers are working, they can add bugs related to their modules or related to their packages which they are working or which they are facing any bugs inside that. Homepage for the site or the GitHub repository, we can add it here for with the readme file. So anyone who is going to clone it or anyone need to understand the things, they can get it by this here also. For the engines, like Node engine will be a 14.1. NPM engine will be a 16.0.0. Gulp engine, we can add it. Anything engine which we are going to use, like we use sometime literally we are going to use some yarn. So we can add with the versions here. Here are the dependencies like Express 4.17.1. Mongos are some of the dependencies which we use on the server side. Some of the dev dependencies that Jets is uh, lint is used for the CSS. Webpack is used. Webpack CLI is used sometimes used. So these are some of the dependencies for the Node.js project. Peer dependencies which we can react, which we can use. Optional dependencies which will not affect if uh, this one will get skipped on the installation project on the installation. Bundle dependencies will be a module one, module two. This will be a bundle by our custom which we are going to provide it on the server, which need to get add here. Some of the config like port or environment. So configuration related to the port, or we can add it. Resolutions, some of the package resolutions we can add private and false. So any conclusion, any questions related to this?
Hi guys, thank you for watching. I had an amazing time learning all the new things here at Specbee's TechX. And if you did too, do let us know in the comments below. Keep following Specbee for the latest trends in technology. See you in the next one.